Another step closer to an affordable housing complex, and future teachers get deserved recognition tonight at Pitt State. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, a new housing project in Joplin could help address a need for affordable homes as city leaders plan to clear out an old hospital to make room. Plus, future teachers get recognized ahead of graduation day at Pitt State. And riders from the Fort Scott Rodeo team look to rope in a national title.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Plans for 3 two-story duplexes along Sargent between 20th and 21st Streets in Joplin are now underway. And it appears there's a real need. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. We've told you the city plans to demolish the old Freeman Hospital that's fallen into repair. That's at the site for that planned development. Well, as KOAM's Lonnie Walton learned, city officials say Joplin has a shortage of affordable housing for low-income residents.
The development that we're building is a proven design that we've built before, and now we're building it at a larger scale.
Thomas Walter is Joplin City's planner. He says affordability of housing can be tough sometimes.
Very difficult to build affordable housing at very low incomes or at the getting closer to the middle incomes, because the other programs available tend to be more in the 60% affordability range.
And that's not all. Scott Clayton, the executive director of Joplin Area Habitat for Humanity, says more affordable housing is much needed in the Joplin area.
64% of renters spend more than 30% of their income on their housing. And of that 64%, 34% spend more than 50% on housing.
This housing is going to be top notch, according to Walter.
It's going to be a very high quality, high design build to be very compatible with the neighborhood.
Walter says this is a federally funded project, meaning there are a few hurdles to overcome.
Following the demolishing of the building, we'll begin the environmental clearances and the final underwriting of the project.
Once they get started, it hopefully won't take long to finish.
Estimated time for construction is approximately, for all units, 14 months.
Clayton says he's happy to help change lives.
And it's always a great thing because somebody can start their life anew in a location where they feel safe and secure and something they worked hard for.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
All right, now there is no set date for when demolition of that former Freeman Hospital will begin. With Pitt State students set to graduate tomorrow, there are ceremonies taking place ahead of time to highlight students in specific fields. This evening, soon-to-be teachers were recognized for their achievements in school before they go into the workforce. KOAM's Anthony Saviello tells us more about how this ceremony highlights the next generation of educators.
A move from being taught to the one who's doing the teaching. PSU students majoring in education have one more step before graduation day.
It's our effort to welcome these new teachers into the profession, so as moving from our students to become our colleagues. So that's really special for us.
For one student, the choice to become an educator was easy.
I had a lot of really good teachers in high school that I felt very connected to, and I was lucky enough to have them supporting me, so I wanted to do the same thing that they were doing, showing support to students who maybe didn't feel it in other areas. And I was a busy bee in high school, so having that extra support really helped, and I want to be able to help provide students with that.
For those looking to follow in Allison's footsteps, she has a piece of advice.
Stick with it. Really don't think about anything that people are saying about education. Care about the students. If you show up and you have the students in mind, and you just remove everything else, you're going to do great.
As she walks across the stage in a similar fashion to what she will do on graduation day, a medallion is donned, representing her education at Pitt State and desire to become a teacher. But before she starts teaching, she'll have her summer to relax.
I am going to read for fun. I've already started a couple books. And so I'm just reading as much as I can. I'm hanging out at home. I'm getting in the sun, and hopefully I'll be hanging out with my friends, going to the lake, and kayaking, hopefully.
In Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The students from the College of Education will have their commencement ceremony tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Seniors at Carthage High School take a trip down memory lane today. It's part of an annual tradition known as Walk the Halls, a special moment for Carthage Tigers. Graduating seniors return to their elementary schools, walking through the halls as the younger students cheered them on. It's a chance to reflect on the journey so far and to inspire the next generation of Tigers.
Coming back at the beginning, it was a lot smaller. It was just kind of like, cramped a little bit. But it's nice to see all the changes and all the new faces and stuff like that.
Carthage's graduation will be Friday. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
And it was a beautiful Thursday for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine, temperatures into lower 80s, and we're going to stay into the 80s as we go all the way through the weekend into early next week. We do got to watch for a few thunderstorms, some strong ones possible tomorrow morning, and then the rest of the day looks pretty good. Warm on Saturday, more thunderstorms Saturday night, and then into Sunday. So tonight's going to be fine. But there's a window from about 8 or 9 a.m. until about 11 or noon. A few thunderstorms may try to fire up, kind of push right along that I-44 corridor. Here's about 10, 11 a.m. And anything that can fire up will most likely go strong to severe. So we got to keep our eyes on that. But at least the temperatures stay nice. 80 for us today, just a smidge above our average high. We'll look at those weekend thunderstorms here in a bit.
See you soon. Next month, Southeast Kansas is going to be represented at the national level. The Fort Scott Community College Rodeo team has qualified for the College National Finals Rodeo in Casper, Wyoming. The entire team is qualified, but they're able to bring just 6 men to compete in bareback riding and saddle bronc. The team is coached by Chad Cross, who's been with the Fort Scott team for 28 years. He says every year he tries to push his athletes to be the best they can be, with nationals as a goal.
They'll be the 40 best rodeo athletes in every event there, and it's over the nation. And it's an exciting week, and you have to kind of have things go your way, but I think we can go there and be competitive.
We're for sure confident, but it's one of those things like we know what we want, we know what we need to do to get there. We're just going to go out there and just do our job like we would anywhere else.
College National Finals Rodeo will start June 15th. We're going to have more on that on our website. Coming up, the fight over birthright citizenship hits the steps of the highest courts.
The Supreme Court hears arguments on the sweeping injunctions used to block President Trump's restrictions to birthright citizenship. I'm Erica Brown at the Supreme Court with more on the high-stakes hearing.
And later, fluctuating 4 states weather can play havoc on HVAC systems. We're going to have expert advice on how to keep yours running smoothly. Ottawa County prosecutors have dropped a DUI charge in a crash that killed a 9-year-old boy. The incident happened in April. Douglas Gray of Miami was driving a UTV when 9-year-old Easton Freeman fell and was hit while running alongside it. That's according to witnesses. EMS took Easton to a Tulsa hospital where he died. Gray and his passengers were uninjured. Court records indicate Gray refused preliminary breath and blood tests, but a court-ordered blood draw was taken. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol tells KOAM those results are still pending. The OHP had recommended a manslaughter charge, but the Ottawa-Delaware County District Attorney's Office amended it and filed a DUI charge before dropping it now this week. The Highway Patrol says the investigation is ongoing, and they'll continue working with the DA's office in providing details behind recommended charges. The Supreme Court heard arguments today in the Trump administration's emergency appeals over lower court orders that have kept its new citizenship restrictions on hold across the country. Erica Brown has the latest.
Outside the Supreme Court, activists and Democratic lawmakers rallied as justices weighed arguments about the judicial powers used to block the Trump administration's efforts to end birthright citizenship.
We have 154 temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions.
Inside, the Trump administration argued that district court judges should not have the power to issue nationwide injunctions against President Trump's executive order.
What we have are lower courts making snap judgments on the merits that ignore the fundamental principle of the 14th Amendment, that it was about giving citizenship to the children of slaves.
On the first day of his second term, the president signed an executive order that would deny citizenship to children born to people in the U.S. illegally or temporarily. During the hearing, a majority of justices expressed concerns about the sweeping injunctions issued by federal judges. The government argues that lower court rulings only apply to the individuals suing, but some liberal justices pressed on how that could create a confusing patchwork of rules and affect which cases make it to the Supreme Court.
The government has no incentive to bring this case to the Supreme Court because it's not really losing anything. It's losing a lot of individual cases which still allow it to enforce its EO against the vast majority of people to whom it applies.
Conservative justices appear to be swayed by government arguments that impacted individuals could band together and join a class action lawsuit.
That mechanism is available, whether one way or another. Doesn't that solve a large part of the problem?
A ruling on the case is not expected until late June or early July. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
Conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett appeared to side with her liberal colleagues and questioned the government about the merits of the birthright citizenship issue. A little bit later, a big signing day for Webb City Cardinals taking their skills to the next level. John's going to have more on that coming up later in sports.
Plus, we have thunderstorm chances increasing as we go through the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up.
Save big money at Menards.org.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a pretty good Thursday for us today, but we do have changes moving in as we go through the next several days. We have been watching some showers, mainly to our south, so we are fine for tonight, but back behind my shoulder, we have a little wave kicking out in southwestern parts of Kansas, racing across the state, and that will fire off a few thunderstorms as we get into the morning hours. But tonight's going to be fine. Tonight's nice and quiet. Here's 8, 9 a.m. Couple little guys trying to strengthen as they get closer to that Missouri-Kansas state line. Here's 9 or 10 a.m. and then fire up. So once they get into southwestern Missouri, we may have 1 or 2 storms that become severe. Main threat would be gusty winds and large hail. That window is mainly 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Then it races off toward the east. Severe weather, central eastern Missouri. We get a great afternoon, lower 80s, plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow evening's fine, tomorrow night's fine. So let's go into Saturday morning, mid 50s to start. Your Saturday is going to be pretty good. We're going to get mid and upper level clouds streaming in. Now Saturday evening, severe weather to our south and a few thunderstorms could sneak in. Mid to late evening, probably not severe, but something we'll keep our eyes on because I think Saturday, most of the severe weather will be south of the region. All right, so 61 in the morning, 79 by noon. High temp, 84 on your Friday. Nice little breeze today, nice little breeze tomorrow. Could get some gusts by morning, kind of 30, maybe upwards to 35 at times. The winds calm down, gusts near 20 once we get into the afternoon. Looks good, nice shot, Cornell. Arts and Entertainment Tower Cam. Downtown Joplin. Temperatures low to mid 60s, so it's comfortable out there. We'll drop back near 60. We already talked about severe threat mainly to our south on Saturday, but it gets interesting by Sunday. Even a bigger threat, especially southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. Storms fire, drive east. On Monday, especially along and south of I-44, but the entire area will have threats for severe weather. And then finally, shoving mainly east of us as we get into Tuesday. Let's get a little closer look. So we know Saturday evening, we'll watch for a few storms to get in, hopefully not severe. Sunday's when things tick up. Thunderstorms get going mid-afternoon, central Kansas, push east into the region. I think they're going to be scattered supercells, so probably not a wall of rain. And then these will work out of here Monday morning. Once we get into Monday afternoon and evening, additional scattered thunderstorms will pop up. So we do have to watch for the potential of severe weather as we go really through the next several days. Rainfall, it's hard to pinpoint because we don't know where the big lines are going to fire up yet. So this is set on kind of an average, half an inch to an inch over the next several days. 83 on your Friday. Let's go 81 Saturday, 83 Sunday and Monday. When we do start to dry out, we actually cool down a bit the second half of next week.
Yeah, that'll be welcome, actually. In fact, it'll be chilly overnight.
Yeah, lows into the 40s.
Thanks, Doug. And that is a reminder that spring is here, or is it winter, or maybe summer? With temperature swings in the 4 states, sometimes it can be difficult to know what season you're in from day to day or even hour to hour, as you see. Well, that can leave you switching between heat and AC on your thermostat at home, sometimes all in the same day. It can make it a challenge to keep your home at a comfortable level. One local HVAC expert says one thing that can help throughout the year is humidity control.
I would encourage people to add dehumidification to the house as standalone dehumidifier that could remove humidity without changing the temperature of the house.
To get more tips, check out Chris Warner's complete story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Still ahead, Pitt State baseball plays its first NCAA tournament game, and Liberal High School softball faces Lockwood in a district championship. John Dales has those stories and more for us up next in sports.
If you have to ask why it's important to start your day.
Book this tour.
Pittsburgh State baseball plays its first NCAA tournament game this afternoon. The Gorillas are hoping to be the 1 out of the 4-team regional to advance to the next round, and they certainly get off to a good start today. PSU crushes Henderson State 18-5 in its NCAA tournament opener. Gorillas rack up 17 hits, including 4 home runs by 4 different players. This sends the Reddies to the elimination bracket, and Pittsburgh State remains in the winner's bracket, and tomorrow will face Arkansas Monticello, who beat the host school and 2-seed Minnesota State Mankato tonight. Elsewhere, Coffeyville baseball has its season come to a close this afternoon. Red Ravens fall to Cloud County 13-0 in an elimination game. That's at the Plains District Tournament. They finished the year with a record of 35-20. And Pittsburgh State softball made it to an NCAA regional in its first year under the direction of head coach Josh Barnes. He came over from Crowder, and because of that, the Rough Riders also have a first-year head coach. That's Nikki Keck, and they've had plenty of success as well. This afternoon, the Crowder College softball team gets cheered on by friends and family as they load onto the bus and embark for Arizona. That's where the Rough Riders are headed for the NJCAA Softball World Series. Crowder earned a spot by winning the district tournament last weekend and is ready for whatever challenges might lie ahead.
It's really bittersweet, you know, being the younger sister, watching my sister do all this stuff. It's very exciting for her, but very emotional at the same time because it's just the farthest that she's ever been, and this is a very exciting moment for her.
We've got another district championship game tonight for high school softball in Missouri as Liberal hopes to repeat as the Class 1 District 6 champion. Liberal takes on Lockwood, Class 1 District 6 title game. Third inning, Sadie Meadows knocks it back up the middle and through for a single. Now that's the last time Liberal would record a hit in this game, but the Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead, and they've got starting pitcher Jordan Goodell dealing. She picked up her 700th career strikeout in the semifinal win over Jasper, and she finishes this game with 6 punch-outs. And in the 6th inning, though, the Tigers with 2 runners on and 2 out, Goodell forces a grounder to short. Liberal gets out of the jam. Now to the bottom of the 7th, bases are loaded, 2 out, and Reese Whitesell sends it down the line past the third baseman. 1 run scores, and another will score as well. That's a walk-off winner. Lockwood takes down Liberal 2-1 in the district championship game. Well, Webb City High School is known for its prowess on the football field, but the Cardinals basketball program, that's no slouch either, and is producing several college players in recent years. As Webb City High School seniors Holton Keith and Eli Pace, both of them signed letters of intent this afternoon to continue their basketball careers at the next level. Keith is headed to North Arkansas College, and Pace signs with Spoon River Community College in Canton, Illinois. For both of them, today is a culmination of years and years of hard work.
I've been wanting to play at the next level in basketball since I was real small, and just with Coach Hunter and his play style that he runs down there, it fits to me perfectly. I like to play fast, and just the players themselves also, and just felt like the best fit for me.
Ever since I was a little kid, I grew up in a basketball gym. So just a couple days after I was born, I was in a basketball gym watching my brothers play. So it's always been a huge dream of mine. It feels amazing. It feels a lot like a full circle moment. You know, all the hard times in the gym, practice by myself. You know, it feels really good to be able to sign and know where I'm going.
Another sports note in the NBA playoffs tonight, the Thunder lose Game 6 to the Nuggets, so we will have a Game 7 in that series that has been very entertaining throughout.
Wow, so those first 6 games were really all for naught. This
Pretty
is the
much
one that now matters right here. We'll be right back.
The Memorial Day Super Sale is on now at Furniture Row.
For Say Hero.
Look at that. They were packed. It was nice weather. Sizable crowd for tonight's third Thursday event in downtown Joplin. The theme this month centered around Route 66 as Main Street transformed into a retro roadside celebration. It included a vintage car cruise and, as always, lots of food and drinks and arts and crafts and a bounce house for kids and live music and about 140 vendors from a wide range of Joplin area businesses.
The kids come up acting like they might have a car that they need detailed, but really they just need a piece of candy.
It's fun. I'm a people watcher, and so it's really interesting. I run into a lot of, friends. In fact, about 7 of my grandchildren showed up here tonight.
Wow, it's always a lot of fun for everybody, I think. Joplin's third Thursday events run from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on the third Thursday of every month through October. So even if you missed tonight, you have plenty of other opportunities. Hope you take advantage of it. And it was beautiful, nice for it.
Yeah, it really was. We are going to get some morning thunderstorms tomorrow blowing through very quickly. So our window's like 8:30 to about 11. Mainly southwestern Missouri. Most of Saturday looks good. Severe threat Sunday and Monday.
Final sports notes.
Pittsburgh State baseball plays again tomorrow. If they win that game, they really put themselves in a great spot to win the regional later this weekend.
Yeah, because they haven't lost yet and it's double elimination. Yeah. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.